You are part of our history. And when I say history, you know, you've done so much diligent work over the years with Brown Sugar to where you are today, bringing excellence to our music. I remember, you know, when the first girl group came out, and the first thing that went through my mind, these are young girls singing all these big people music. And I'm thinking, how is that possible? You know, and then we're singing all these songs. We used to be, I think we were like in the third or fourth or fifth year. I forget what year it was, right? When we used to, we're walking along the big corridor and we're singing all these beautiful songs
All
that
of
you
us
guys
singing
would,
it. Yes, true, true,
you know.
true.
So before we talk about the music, I wanted to take you back to a time when you're in a family household, and you most probably, we had one. It was called the gram. Was it the gram or the gramophone?
The
Right, the
gramophone.
gram, the big
The
old
big
gram.
gram. And you could put like 10 records on one, right?
Yes.
We used to play ours on a Sunday, but tell us about that experience in a family household. Tell us about Simi, your sister. Tell us the whole full 9 yards, and Mummy, and how Mummy became part of your journey, your musical journey. Tell us about that history.
You're giving it all away, you know. But yeah, the gram was the go-to. The gram was the go-to, just like everybody else's yard, you know. My father, he loved Nat King Cole, Count Basie, and
My dad too.
you know all these artists from back in the day. So we grew up on that type of music, you know. You're right. My mum was influential in Brown Sugar. She actually named us Brown Sugar because she said that our complexions, myself, Karen Wheeler, and Carol Sims, aka Kofi, our complexions were like different shades of brown sugar, muscovada, whatever, demerara, you know, etc. So that's where brown sugar came from. But it was a musical household. My father used to love to sing. He played the piano, and he taught myself and my siblings, namely my sister Carolyn, aka Simi, or Sister Cece, or Nina DeCosta, as some of you might know her, how to sing along with my brother. And that's how we got going, really. Simi was 4 years my senior, and she got started in the music industry early. She was traveling and singing at American bases across the country with another singer called Tracy King. And that was really before the whole Lovers Rock movement started, before the Louisa Marks, etc., etc. So she really is the forerunner. And I always like to say that without Simi, it wouldn't have been a Brown Sugar.
Oh.
What kind of lady was Simi? Tell us a bit about Simi, the sort of person she was.
Well, I always well up because I lost her to breast cancer in 2015. She was known in the music industry. You know, she had songs like "Stop Hurting Me," "Stop Making Me Cry," and "Don't Wanna Lose You." Ba-da, 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 ba-da. You know, "This love I feel inside is unbelievable."
Oh my God!
All
All my
those songs
yeah.
of my sister. And she went on to work with Black Uhuru, Dennis Brown, Marcia Griffiths, so many Jamaican artists that were coming over to this country. She toured with them, Janet Kay, etc., etc., etc. So I left the music industry, as you know, I left, and she continued. So she had a really flourishing career, touring internationally until she got ill.
Wow.
So yeah, and in a way, not in a way, that was my prompt that I needed to come back to what I love most, as Shezzie.
So how did you, I see your sister was, you know, the front runner when it came to the music industry, and, you know, she more than likely, I know for a fact that she had a huge influence on you. But how did the music industry at such a young age become part of your life? How did you do that professionally?
Well, to cut a story short, at the age of 11, Karen and I sat Karen Wheeler and I sat together at the back of a class, and we became joined at the hip. And we used to sing and get in trouble in the class. And I would say to her, you know, my sister sings, you know. And so I'd bring Karen home, and Karen became a part of the family. And my sister would school Karen to sing, and particularly in harmonies. I could already harmonize, but we used to stick her in the middle and teach her how to harmonize. And because my sister was doing her thing, I was saying, I want to start my own group, you know. And I went on a search. And back in the day in South London, there was a local newspaper called the South London Press. And there was an article in there which, you know, just had to be, I guess, you know, everything lined up. And the article was about a young lady called Carol Sims who lived in Clapham, not so far from where I was living in Streatham. And there was a phone number, and I called her. I called Karen, and we met up in Clapham Common, and that was the beginning of the journey of Brown Sugar with the three of us. So that's how it started. We used to rehearse relentlessly. As I said, my mum used to come to my house, and my mum named us. And then we met a local group of young men who used to frequent a place we used to go called the Bowling Alley in Streatham. And they had their own band in the basement of their mother's house. And so they found out we could sing. We got together, and it kind of moved on from there. One of them knew somebody who had a connection with Dip Records, it was called then, in New Cross Gate or Lewisham Way at that time. And his name was Dennis Harris. And so we graced the Lovers Rock label from that stable in 1976. So that was the Lovers Rock label with the heart.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm in love with the dreadlocks. I sang at the age of 14, so I was that young, singing that song. So.
Wow.
Karen.
Yeah. So after, God, there's so many questions. Let me put them into perspective. Okay, so who wrote the songs? Like, who was writing? As much as you girls were singing, who were the writers?
Yeah, we had a producer. His name was John Kipai. He's still around, John. He's a guitarist, and he was doing a lot of producing back then. And he wrote I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks. And because I was a young natty at the time, the other two were resistant to wearing dread at that time, and I was just relentless. I was going to start locks in. So, you know, I was a rebel of the tree. So it was John that wrote that song and asked me to sing it. The most iconic, I think, of our songs, Black Pride, was sang by Karen Wheeler as the lead, and just, you know, unmistakable. She's amazing. So, you know, Karen and I would share the leads on most of Brown Sugar songs, to be honest. But yeah, and John Kipai wrote Black Pride, which is an anthem, isn't it? So
it's an anthem. I used it for me. Yep, it was an anthem.
Yeah.
Performing.
Karen and I, Karen Wheeler and I wrote our reggae music together.
Oh my gosh! Oh my.
So that one we wrote together.
Okay.
And I went on to write Confessions Hurt and some other songs independently. But yeah, that's the background of only those two songs were written for us.
Okay.
All the others you guys wrote. Or were covers, you know.
Yes, yes. So when when I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks hit, you were how old?
I was 14.
So, you know, when I think back, I'm like, that was like a big tune. Where were you in your mind when you first even heard that on the radio?
Oh, gosh. I think it was obviously as children, and I use the word children now because we thought we were big things.
Right.
But it was thrilling, and I remember my dad getting excited, you know, and my mum, and yeah, it was strange. It was strange because when you're young, you don't realize necessarily the impact you're having. We were green, we were naive, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but the enjoyment of the moment, I can't forget. It was lovely. It's good.
I'm sure that was exciting. So when that song hit, it became a hit. You were 14, probably going on to 15. Usually when the song hits, people want to see the performance. You know what I mean? So where and when did you start performing this song live?
I think it was probably about a year or two later, to be honest, quite late. After Hello Stranger, I sung Hello Stranger when I was 15. And
Oh, did you really?
yeah, I was
I
15 when
gotta
I
call
sang
my,
Hello Stranger.
gotta call my.
And I think after our reggae music and Black Pride, we started performing at the Bouncing Ball in Peckham
All right. Yeah.
with Christine McNabb from 15, 16 and 17. So
17.
it was us, Christine, who's I'm very close to, or was back in the day.
Mhm.
And some other artists like Glenn Slowly. Um,
Mhm.
quite a few, you know, Bouncing Ball was the place to be, and we used to headline
Mhm.
quite often down there. So that was our first experience of
Performing
doing live
live.
shows, until we did a tour with Dennis Brown, and then we won the Black Echoes Award for
All right.
the best Black British female reggae trio, I guess, at that time. But that
Now,
was, I think that
what
was
year?
79,
79. I was about to say, what year
about
was that?
79, about 78, 79.
Mhm.
Can't remember specifically, but we did a great show, a massive show. I think it was it the Rainbow in Victoria, one of those big venues.
Mhm.
That was the biggest show that we did.
Mhm.
Mm.
So to perform on the same stage as Dennis Brown and all other artists, where were you mentally? Did you feel like, oh my God, we made it? We're on our way? Like, how are you?
If I'm honest, not I'm very humble in character, so it's not something that I would have. I think the nerves were probably the better of me than thinking about anything else. Like I'm with Dennis Brown or what have you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And it was a challenge. It was an exciting challenge. The focus was us getting on stage, and I used to love the stage. When I was on
Yeah.
stage, I was in my element,
Yes.
and that's all that mattered.
Right.
Dennis Brown, they were like my sister's age. They were big people to me, you know.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
I just held my corner.
Oh my God. B, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to take you back slightly, to when you started singing your first few songs. So pretty much at such an early age, you knew what you wanted to be, where many of us were, playing football and the girls were playing hopscotch. You were behind the microphone.
It kind of happened. I didn't know that that's what I was going to do. I mean, I put it out there. I had a rough time at school, and I didn't finish my schooling, so I ended up in the music. Uh, hence 14. So
Opened the can of worms, you opened the
She
can of
did
worms.
because you opened up a can of worms. You had a rough
Only
time.
if you want to speak about it. What
Right.
did you go
well,
through?
school was hard. I mean, when I moved to Streatham, we were the first Black family, apart from another family, in that whole area. By the time I went to secondary school, it was like I met a sea of Black children like myself, and that was an eye opener. But the environment for us was really, really tough. It was tough. And those of us who are a little bit more conscious just didn't settle for certain things. And that was me. So rather than going into detail,
Right.
You know what? I got it. I got
so
it.
I started. I'm going to talk about this in my live shows, but I started dreading early at school. And my mother came and defended me. I got suspended twice. She defended me for wrapping my head and going to school, which was wonderful because not many mothers would have done that in that time.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are a lot of things going on. And my father bought a Bob Marley album home, and that was it. I was sold. So, you know, I wasn't easy, put it that way. And then, you know, music, we started singing, and that's all I really wanted at that time. I knew I was an artist from about the age of 9. I was into visual arts, I was into drawing, I was into writing, reading heavily. So I kind of knew that was for me, and education wasn't at that time.
Right.
But having said that, I've got a degree, and you know, I did go back into education, and I've had a fledgling career in the creative sector. So yeah, I emerged from that. Okay.
Take me back to again your first record deal with the Lovers Rock record label, right? How did they get in contact with you, and what was that process like for 3 young girls? And how did you attack the music business side of things?
It wasn't a deal, not in the context of how we know a deal. It was, we know 3 girls were introduced, and that was it. We started singing. Were we paid? A little bit, sufficiently? No, we were naive and had enough to buy an ice cream. So, you know, that really wasn't the known route or process of getting a deal. We didn't benefit from the years of Brown Sugar. I certainly didn't. So, you know, when we talk about record deals, it wasn't happening on the scale that we understand it today. And that's about as much as I can really say.
So if I was to delve a little bit nicely, you wrote some original songs, right? Did you get paid for those original songs?
I've not outrightly, but I'm registered. So, you know, when you understand the music industry, you have MCPS, PRS, and all those things. I registered all my songs that I had written. You have to self-educate yourself, you know, in order to get on, and that's still the case today. So, you know, there are some producers who are good and fair, but I'm registered and have been registered for years.
Now, when you sang your first hit, what was your first hit?
I'm in love with the Dreadlocks.
And what was that? What was the atmosphere like for 3 young girls at that time when you're hearing it on the radio, you're hitting the top of the charts? What was the whole scenario like?
So it's an excitement, you know. As I said I think Sharon asked me that question already. You know, you're just excited because I'm in love with the Dreadlocks went to #1. Hello Stranger went to #1. Black Pride. Seemed like everything we was doing was hitting gold, so that was nice.
What year was you in school when those tracks were hitting? So you were still in school, and my main point of the...
Was it 74?
Okay.
Quite early, 74.
So
75.
you must have been the cream of the crop at school.
I have no idea.
She was humble.
You're putting words in my mouth. Stop it. I don't know.
So you know, this journey with Brown Sugar. So let's just finish up with Brown Sugar. At some point, Brown Sugar came to an end, and your new journey started. So let's just come to the tail end of Brown Sugar. What was going on with Brown Sugar, and why couldn't Brown Sugar just stay together?
Oh, why can't so many young groups who have to grow up and live and find themselves and have children stay together? It's life, isn't it? Karen, as you know, went on to phenomenal success.
Yes.
And that you know, for me, sure, that's just amazing, right?
Mhm.
What she did for UK music, phenomenal. Yeah. Um, Kofi or Carol Sims went on. She's kept the name alive for donkeys, or the music alive. She re-recorded I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks with Maccabee. She re-recorded, did she re-record Black Pride? I think she re-recorded those two
She did.
tunes. And she's done her own beautiful songs as well. I decided music wasn't for me. I went back to uni. I had my children. God found me on a deeper level. I had a profound experience that just kind of took me on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual discovery. So that's it really. And as you know, we all have our own paths. But I'm back now. I'm back, and as I explained earlier, the impetus was losing my sister, Simi, who stayed and stuck it out in the industry.
Mhm.
So this is a new journey as Shezzie.
And at some point, gospel became a part of your life during that spiritual aspect of your life. What was the gospel side of it like?
Amazing. I sang with a group called Chosen for a while on the gospel music circuit. It was beautiful, absolutely amazing, and it was a wonderful journey. But I'm a roots darter at heart, you see. So sometimes the real you has to emerge, and Shezzie's the real me.
Now, lead us into, because I kept asking about you, and then I go, where's Pauline Catlin, the original singer? And sooner or later, we see Pauline Catlin now emerges on the scene as Shezzie. At the time was Shezzie. Tell us about that. I call it transformation.
Yeah, Shezekiel is a feminization of the book of Ezekiel. And I resonate with that deeply for another deeply spiritual and personal reason. And I just felt like I had a lot to say. Over the 30 odd years I've been writing songs and not really done anything with them. So the album, my debut album, was called Catch the Boat. And it was produced by a now deceased jazz musician, Wayne Brown, who crossed my path and discovered who I was and said, look, you've got all these songs, you need to do something with it. So the album was very eclectic, very experimental, but what it did do was bring me back to my first love. And yeah, so that's the story of Shezekiel. Shezzie is an abbreviation of Shezekiel because some people just can't say Shezekiel. And it was just easier. It was just easier to have Shezzie. And I like Shezzie because Shezzie is a lioness and she can do all sorts of things musically. So I love Shezzie. And I'm loving the journey right now with Shezzie.
I just want to drag you back before I bring Sharon in. During the beginnings of your journey, I do remember, because it's coming to my head, that you did a song with Dambala called My Dread and I, or Me and My Dread, or something like that.
Yeah, Me and My
Yeah,
Dread.
yeah. Tell us about that experience. Was that before Brown Sugar or during?
That was after Brown Sugar separated. I did quite a few things. I was singing with Christine McNabb from 15, 16, and 17. I was doing stuff with my sister. And this was a song that I wrote. Rough Trade was interested in it, and Dumbala did the track. So that's the story of that.
Thanks
And that was about 1981, 80, 81. I think.
Yeah. So let's come down to your first recording as Shezzie. Now, if my memory serves me well, it was Beams of Heaven, right? With Bubblers. Tell us about that.
Beams from Heaven. It was, first I heard Olita Adams sing that song, and it was at a low point, and I dedicated that to my sister, Simi. when I knew that she was terminal.
Right. Okay. And then you went to Bubblers, and the rest was history, right?
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play a few bars of Beams from Heaven, and it's a beautiful song which was created by Bubblers himself at the studios. I'm just gonna line it up. Bear with me a second. Here we go. Take a listen to a few bars of Beams from Heaven.
It's from heaven as I go through this wilderness below. Guide my feet in peaceful ways, yeah. Turn my midnights into days. I do not know what my life's gonna be. Life's gonna be. Oh, what the future holds for me. But this I know, if Christ leads me, I shall be free someday.
Beautiful song, timeless. What is that song? What does that song mean to you, and why that particular song? I know you mentioned who wrote it and stuff, but what did that song actually mean to you? Because I found that song was deep.
Well, it says, I do not know what life will be or what the future holds for me. But this I know, if Christ leads me, I shall be free someday. You know, we have a hope. I have hope. You know, look what's going on. You know, that we, you know, death, people are dying in their droves. You know, it's not about age anymore. We're not living like my parents have lived, you know, or are living, you know. So, you know, that is a song of hope.
You've been doing a lot of deep songs, and I know that name Shezzie just means it has some deep meaning. Just remind me what Shezzie means to you and what Shezzie means to the world musically, and what you're trying to deliver has Shezzie now, Shezekiel, which is now Shezzie. What are you trying to bring to the world with your music?
I'm a mother in the community. I'm a sister in the community. I'm a wife in the community. I am a woman in the community. I am a Black woman, and I have something to say. I have something to share. And those things are based on my life experiences and my spirituality. And I believe that what I have to share and say resonates with those who are like me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like really deep. I think that to what I get from your journey is like you've discovered who you are and what your potential is, and now you are ready to share it with the world, like express being that strong Black woman. Because to what I've gathered so far, you were very blessed having your parents support you. You know what I mean? You girls, as you were growing up. And when you decided, I'm trying to listen to everything that you said, but when you said that you decided that you wanted to do that. You had no opposition from your family. Your mom supported you. And during that process, as you were growing, you had the girl group and this and that, but you still hadn't discovered who you were yet. And it seems like you found that now. Like it's almost like an emancipation of Shezzie, right? So that's like an absolutely beautiful journey, because some of us are still trying to get there.
You know what? It's an age thing. You know, my life hasn't been a bed of roses, just like a lot of us. You know, and I share some of that. My parents separated when I was really young, and it was ugly.
Oh, okay.
And you know, there are a lot of families back in the day who were suffering just like we were. We just don't talk about it as a community. Yes, let me
Right.
say that.
Mm-hmm.
But the profound difference was when God found me,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel liberated enough to be honest with who I really am,
Mm-hmm.
as a Rasnati, as a Christ-loving whoever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not ashamed of the word, you know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but I'm just doing me now, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and there is freedom and liberty in doing that, you know. So the music that I'm producing, whatever I'm writing, the poetry that I write or whatever, is just me doing me and being honest in myself, in my relationship with God, in my spirituality, and just giving
Mm-hmm.
because it's good to give.
Yeah, always good to, yeah, it's good to give, and it's like you're giving back because you're
Mhm.
you're a part of the community now. You know what I mean? You're able to
Mhm.
express yourself. You can teach others, show them the way. It
Mhm.
shows, you know, it resonates in your music.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm. I mean, and that is, to me, in everyone's life, that's a part of the journey. Is giving back whatever goods, like you're experiencing the God in
Mhm.
you, right? God has blessed you. You're experiencing
Mhm.
that enlightenment, I should say.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
now you got to spread the word. And whichever way possible is spreading that word and giving people hope and faith. And
That's
it
it.
just
That's it.
shows like what you're doing is still trying to educate people to say, don't give up. Still
That's right.
hope and faith.
That's right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
absolutely it. And you know, sometimes it's an age thing because you get to this side of life and you just know that, you know, you have to be you, you have to do you. And if you can, you know, I have no great expectations in what I'm doing. You just share what you can, where you can,
Mhm,
privately and publicly, you know,
mhm.
to help someone along. And that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. I mean,
Mhm.
that's if everybody took a page out of your book and many others in that situation, we might be a little better off. You know what I mean? We got to stand up for each other, especially
Sure.
us as Black women
Mhm.
who, you know, our journey continues. Our fight will
Yeah.
always,
For real.
it continues. And
Positive one, yeah.
that's it.
Mm.
Yes, sister. Miss see
Mhm.
you.
Mhm. We see you too.
Miss see you. Oh, God bless her. 10-star, because I will hug the mic. 10-star, go on.
I tell you what, tell me about when you performed your first show after being away for so long. I do remember, I forget where it was, whether it was up in Luton, but you did a show. What was that like for you coming back, and what was the response like?
It was amazing. It was nerve-wracking because, like, you know, my hiatus, I hadn't performed in years, not like that. You know, it was something that I crafted, that I pulled together all by myself. You know, it was quite emotional. I was quite tearful at the end to have achieved that, but that was the beginning of my return, and it was wonderful to
Mm.
do it, to be able to do it.
How were you able to, because you brought some, I will say, elegance and something refreshing back to music in itself. Um, how were you able to dig into your inner self to craft out the sound that you have for you right now? Because again, many end up falling in line with what is the current trend, but you seem to have stepped out of the box with 2 feet and you provided something new and refreshing. It's like everything, at the minute you touch the mic, it turns to platinum, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, wow.
And how were you able to do that?
But just doing me. That's all I can say. You know, I don't try and be what I'm not. You got some fantastic and wonderful talent out there, but I just do what I can with mine. That's it. That's the only way I can really respond, is that, you know, it's not about trying to fit into a particular genre. I'm just doing me. I just sing what I hear. you know, and I try and bring all those elements. I'm heavily involved in my own productions. I know what I want to hear, even down to a mix. I know what I need. So I'm very much on the ball when it comes to production of my music. I always do all my own harmonies if I can help it. You know, but yeah, I just do. This is just me. It's who I am.
One of the most touching songs you did was a song which I believe, if I remember what you said your sister had written a song and you wanted to bring the song back to life. And that song was called Don't Let It. Tell me about that song, that experience, and bringing that song to life with some of your family members.
Yeah, it was a song that my sister Simi, Carolyn, wrote way back, and her children in that music video, Don't Let It, Timai, Sashali, and Andrea. She used to sing it to them when they were young, and it was coming up for her 5th anniversary to her passing, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to record this because it's beautiful as a memory, and for her children to be involved in that. And I did, you know, and for me, this is what it's about. It's about leaving that legacy, because it didn't start with me.
Funny enough, her daughter can sing very well.
Sasha has an amazing voice. We've got a lot of our children. Our son Timai is out there doing his thing, you know.
He's the rapper, right?
There's a lot of talent in the family, right down to my grandpicnic. But yeah,
Imagine.
and I have 9 of them. So
wow, imagine. So we're going to play a few bars of that particular song.
Yes.
It's called Don't Let It. It is out on all social downloading sites. So check it out. Take a listen to this one. It's called Don't Let It.
Hey, tell them boy, they nobody get covered enough, got a fire just get at it.
That was a false start, all right? The gremlins kicked in. We're going to wheel and come again, all right? So take a listen one more time.
Hey, tell them boy, they nobody get covered enough, got a fire just get at it.
Remember, my brethren, who you are. Remember, my strings, what you stand for. Even when you find things are don't let the system get to your head. You are blind. Because darkness night, you stand for freedom, which is every man's right. Show the children, show them why we as a nation, we hold our heads up high. Don't let the system go straight to your head. Even while you find things are getting ready. No, don't let the system go straight to your head. Don't let it. Even while you find things are getting ready. Don't you let it stop.
Ooh. Who sang that part? Don't let the system go straight to your head. Was that your?
I did all the vocals on that song, all of it, all the vocals.
Oh yeah. Kaboom. Connect. Oh, it's a tough tune. It's a tough tune, and it's timeless, and it's relevant. Everything about it is just simply great. I do believe your Simi's son ends up rapping on it, right?
That's right. Yes, Timai.
Right. Yeah. and he does a great job too. So all those songs you can get on the social media, downloading sites. We come full circle to where you are today. You've done a song which was called "I Shall Wear the Crown," which was another great song which you did with JJ Born to Sing. When you told me you were doing that song and it was coming out, you made me do some serious investigation because I'd never heard that song played before ever. And then when you guys did it, it's like you put your stamp on a great song that has been out there for years.
Mm-hmm.
You and JJ Born to Sing smashed it. Not into little pieces, into little micro pieces.
Thank you.
Tell us about that song and how JJ became part of it. I mean, you guys, that's timeless.
You know, JJ turned up at my sister's funeral with a beautiful song, and that was the first time I met him. No, the first time I met him was when I did an event singing a Brown Sugar song for Reggae Fraternity in Brixton. And it was the first time I'd actually come back out, and I was asked to sing a Brown Sugar song, and I sang Hello Stranger and Beams from Heaven. And he came up to me and he said he'd always wanted to meet me. Cut a long story short, he'd penned a song for my sister, which he sang at her funeral with Singer Mandy. Beautiful talent.
Okay.
Singer Mandy.
Yeah.
You know, there's just some wonderful talent out there right now. I mean, beautiful talent. And, you know, we've kept in touch over the years. He's like my little brother. And I'd always promised that we'd do something together. And this just came to my mind. I shall wear a crown. I said, Jay, you know what? You write a verse, I write a verse, and the rest is history. Mm-hmm. And I shall wear a crown was maintained in the chorus. So that is it. Produced again by Bubblers. Bubblers is my go-to. Bubblers is just bad with everything. He has my vibe, you know, for certain sounds anyway, root sounds. So yeah, Bubblers produced that, and we did the video, and it was released on New Year's Day.
Awesome. Absolutely love that song. Over to you, Sharon.
So you're working with so many talented individuals. And I know that you now have nieces and, you know, your own children. Are you looking to help others in the music industry? Because I know you write, you can arrange, because you know what you want to hear. And, you know, do you feel like you would like to produce others? Are you trying to go in that direction?
No, I'm having the time of my life.
No, it's about me.
No. Right now, you know, I'm 60 this year, right? So,
wow.
So for me, you know, this is about, you know, I've given a lot. You know, I've worked in the arts, the creative sector for the last 30 odd years. Okay. So that's where I ended up producing, working in the arts on many levels, doing international research, you know, working with singers, supporting singers. You know, this is my time.
And you are here
apart from my grandparents, but this is
well,
my time.
Yeah. The type of voice that you have, if you wanted to just do jazz, you could do jazz. If you wanted to just do soul, you could do soul. If you wanted to just do reggae, but you seem to fuse that. Oh God, you know, also gospel, not forgetting the gospel. You just kind of fuse that all together. Has it always been that way for you? Like it was that, and I know your sister was a singer also. Wow, the people, it's the people who really influenced you. You know what I mean? Artists out there, why you have such a unique voice.
Oh, thank you.
It's very unique. Even my husband's a fan. You know what I mean? My husband is a big fan. And he said
thank you.
It's your vibrato. I think that's what it is. It's
when you're delivering. Oh wow, okay. That's, you know, I used to feel a bit embarrassed about my vibrato back in the day, but I don't know.
It's impressive.
as a
Yes,
singer, you
yes.
can't hear yourself. You know,
Right.
people receive you, and I accept that that's what they receive. Um, I just do me. I don't think I'm a great artist or great singer. I'm just giving what I got, and that's it. And I think my sounds is just that influence that I've had from a child with global music. I love jazz music. I love that style of singing. I love roots music, you know, Abyssinians,
Oh, yes.
I trees, you know, those were my go-tos for BBs and backing vocals, Israel Vibration. That's who I am deep down, you know. Um, so, you know, I love Doris Day. I love, you know, I grew up on all those sorts of things. So, you know, for me, I just think it's a reflection of that Britishness, if I can say that, you know, musically, that we are privileged to just have access to so much beautiful types of music from time, you know.
I
That's
totally
it.
agree. I
Yeah.
100% agree. We were exposed to everything, right? We were able to sing any different songs coming on the radio. Reggae was at the forefront, but we loved, it was the love of music.
I mean, I remember T-Rex and all those, Mark
Yeah.
Bolan and all that back in
Mark
the
Paul.
day, you know, so, you know, so for me, nothing was off, you know, we used to be there in front of the telly, you
Yeah,
know.
right.
But so, you know, the
Memories.
influence is broad, you know, the influence is broad, and I guess, yeah, I'm just grateful to be able to have that as a gift, you know. It's
I
been
am.
cathartic and life-saving.
Well, listen, I'm happy you're back because again, it's the uniqueness of your voice. What you is how, and you know what's the most beautiful thing about you is your humbleness. It's your actual love for what you do, and you just, it's like it's almost effortless.
You want to make my bar now, right?
No, I'm being serious. It's almost it's like it's effortless.
Thank you.
And I am so happy that you're coming back. You're coming into your own. You can, at this point, you're in a position to do anything that you want to musically. Touch on anything that you want to. That is the most beautiful thing of all. But I'm rambling because I am such a fan and I have such a level of respect on how you deliver a song.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I don't know what is actually next for you. Yes, you're coming into this. Shezzie is emerging. What is it that you want to see going forward? Yes, you're doing your music, but what else do you see for yourself? TV shows, anything like that? Where are you?
You know what? I have to be totally honest with you. I can't see. So it's whatever the Most High has in store. I just know that I've got a lot of stuff I need to get out of my system before he lays me down to sleep. It's as simple as that.
Amen, child. That's real talk though. With everything that's going on.
Exactly.
It really is that simple.
You know, and Simi to me, my sister was the impetus. It's like, if I don't do me now, when am I going to do me? And that's the message to everybody, you know, however small, whatever the gift, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, and like I said, you know, I was denying myself to be myself.
Precisely.
And so now I am doing who
you're supposed to be.
I'm supposed to be.
Right, that's exactly what I said. I said I could see you coming into your own, like who you are. You've done what you've needed to do. You've raised
and everything at the right time. Everything at the right time. You know, I'm just grateful for waking up in the mornings. You know, for seeing another day when tomorrow is not promised to anyone. For health, you know, I have some wear and tear, but at the end of the day, I'm still here. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't take it for granted that I wake up every day.
Right.
At all.
As we all should. I mean, it's just an amazing thing that when you've discovered who you are and what your potential is, and acknowledging all the misgivings and whatever else is going on in the world, that you still have life, breath, hope, and faith. Right. That's an inspiration to many people. whether you think of it in that way, yes or no, but it is a great inspiration. You are one of the legends in the game. You know what I mean? You look amazing. Like 10 Star said, it's like your age backwards. You know what I'm saying? It's like
You don't see
backwards.
there's plenty grey under here,
You know, it's just such an inspiration. I tell you, God has many things in store for you. He's not ready for you yet. You have to keep up the works and spread that love. It's needed. It's needed.
Thank
You know what I mean? It is needed. And I'm sure I was also a fan of your sister's. It's funny, I was playing some of her songs the other day. Not even thinking, because sometimes for me I reminisce growing up in England, because I'm in the US now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I live in the US.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were streaming from the US. My gosh.
Yeah, I'm in the US.
I can't even give you a physical hug.
Yeah, I know. I am in the US. So what you've done, your sister and others in the game, keeps me who I am.
Oh, wow.
Keeps me grounded. You know what I'm saying? That's big for me.
That's God that does that, not
God
me.
is good all the time.
Never late.
All the time. He's never late. He is never late. He knows what he's doing. We are blessed to be talking to you today because of God. That's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
everything
Star and I go away. We went to school together, just like you were talking about, you and Karen Wheeler. We was in school together. We go way back.
Wow. Bless.
God gave her the key. God gave Shezzie a key. It's like he said, each door that you go through shall be open.
Right.
Well, you know, I don't know, because some doors are closed and sometimes he closes them for a reason too, you know.
See that?
So it's been
but the doors you are supposed to go through, you're going through them, you know. And like you say, he does protect us from, unwanted energy and so forth, and that's normal, but every door that you are supposed to go through, you're going through them. I see that fuse all over you, One of the things that I want to, mention is the fact that, everything that you're singing and bringing to us, we are hearing it. Everyone's hearing it. It's different to when people release music. There's this spiritual blockage where people don't really hear what is being brought to us. I, for one, everything you're doing, I'm hearing it. I'm feeling it. I'm hearing a message. And you've made me go into my research mode. I'm like, wait, can't help loving that man. Where did that come from? So I'm doing my research now and trying to figure it all out. Tell us about that particular song.
Well, it's the first song I learned to sing at the age of 11. I was in a music block at school, full song, jazz song. I got banned from the music block. You tell I was trouble, right? So I got banned from the music block. But sometimes they used to treat me like I couldn't sing, basically. And I never thought I could sing, but it's the first song anyway. I don't go back there. The first song I learned to sing, and I've always wanted to do a reggae version, and I just thought this is the song. This is the song. Kyo Brown, we've known each other for years, and we kind of rekindled, and he took it and he just worked a masterpiece, so he gave me the platform to execute my vocals on, and it was beautiful, and I've really enjoyed it, putting the video together. My background is in the arts and creative sector, so I was able to kind of call on some people and do my thing. Do my thing.
Awesome. I was up the old pub where you did the old magic. I'm not saying nothing, but yeah, and to see you dressed back in took me back to, not that I was there, because I'm not that old, but you know, to see how people were dressed back there, just made me realize of my father's era in time. You know, when people dressed elegantly.
Beautiful.
Because when I saw you, when you were dressed up in that costume at the time, oh my God, you took me back there of what I used to see pictorial wise.
You know, and I think for me, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, because, you know, the 50s and 60s, our parents, despite what they were going through, they were stush.
Yes, true.
And
Like
they were
suits.
stush, man.
True.
And I remember my father, man, his shirt had to press a certain way and starch a certain way, you know. And, you know, my mum, oh gosh, she was a beautiful woman, beautiful, you know. She is a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And it's that excellence that we deserve to give ourselves, even in the music, you know. So it's kind of, for me, it was like creatively bringing all those elements in. We are those people, you know, we still are them, and they are us, you know. So I wanted to do it, give it that vibe, and it worked.
You did that. You absolutely did that, you know. And, you know, I couldn't help see my father in a pinstripe suit,
Nice,
you know,
nice, nice.
with the crease going down the leg. If you put your hand on the crease, you cut yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, my father, man, he was like that too. Yeah. Yeah, so
I'm going to play a few bars. I know it sounds muffled to a lot of people on the outside, and I think it's something to do with Zoom. On the recording, it sounds a lot better, you know, from what I've seen. So I'm just going to play a few bars of Can't Help That Man. Again, this single is out on all digital platforms. Get yourself a copy. I've got my copy. Take a few bars.
Fish got to swim and birds gotta fly. I'm gonna love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine, of mine. Now he's lazy.
Jesus, I'm not playing no more. Damn, that song goes into my DNA. I told you that enough times, man. I tell you, when I hear that song, just the harmony, ooh, just everything about the song is just magic. Magic. You reminded me of Ella Fitzgerald and all the greats before them. You really put your stamp on something.
thank you. It's an Ella Fitzgerald song. But yeah.
Oh my God, you see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even research that. Imagine. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture. I love the picture on there.
You researched it, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Which takes us all back in the day when, why these people could dress. These people were so elegant. It was the elegance, you know what I mean? The pride and the look. You look amazing. I've seen this so many times. Also, it's such an amazing picture. I hope you have a blown up version of that. Put it Pandora that you do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That picture, put it up on the wall, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
beautiful.
right.
And that song is amazing. But yeah,
Thank you.
I don't think I knew Ella Fitzgerald did that song too. That's Learn Something Today. Such a great song.
So you have a concert coming up on the 28th at the Pizza Express Live. Tell us about that whole situation, how it came about, and what we can expect.
Well, I have two shows coming up. Pizza Express Live is on the 28th of March. Pizza Express Live, Holborn, London. The show is called From Sugar to Shezzie. And the show is really a performance of my journey. I'll be telling some stories of my time from brown sugar to Shezzie, performing those songs and yeah, just sharing some fun. So come out, get your tickets, get your tickets. You need to support this team.
I wish.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. My MD is Kyle Brown. We've got some fantastic musicians. I've got some brilliant backing vocalists. And I'm excited to be doing this. The second show is going to be at the Boysdale, Canary Wharf, London, on the 5th of May. And again, it's Sugar to Shezzie. You can get your tickets from www.pizzaexpresslive.com and Google the venue, the Boysdale, for the tickets. Can't think of it. I think it's ticketweb.com for the Boysdale on the 5th of May. But those two, and hopefully there'll be some more throughout the year, if those doors open, if they're supposed to.
Now, I know you mentioned the information. Just one more time, please. The Pizza Express Live. How can they get their tickets?
www.pizzaexpresslive.com.
Oh, I wish I was there. I'd be there, right in the front. Oh,
and, if you go onto my website or my social media handles, Facebook Shezzie, Facebook, not Facebook, there's me, Instagram Shezzie.
Instagram. Mm-hmm.
You know, the information is there, and there are some links on Facebook to buy the tickets for those shows.
So once again, that's www.pizzaexpresslive.com, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's where you can get your tickets. And check it out, people. Doors open at 6:30. And I know it is going to be a boom shot, as we say. Yeah.
Boom shot.
And I hope people really check out those two shows going on. You really are, doing so much at the moment. I know you fulfilled one of your list of priorities, which was to get that book out there, which you did. Tell us about the book experience.
Oh, wow. Well, I started writing, like a lot of people, a lot of my thoughts, poetry and prose during the lockdown. And I was posting it on Facebook, and people just said to me, you need to put this in a book. And I heard a story whilst I was driving back from London of a young woman called Leanne Perot, who went through cancer. She was young, she was in her 30s, early 30s, and survived it. But one of the issues for her was that there was not enough support for Black and minority ethnic women. And it brought me back to my sister's journey. And I thought, you know what, why don't I just do this book and dedicate all the proceeds to her foundation. It's called Black Women Rising, the Leanne Perot Foundation. And so I produced a book. It's called See Me Fly, and it has all my poetry and prose. And yeah, it's downloadable from Amazon, and every single penny goes back to that charity to help Black women and other minority ethnic women fighting cancer.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Sharing that with us. Sharon, anything you want to say before we open up the line of questioning to people in the public? Anybody wants to ask any questions soon, you will be able to do so. So, get your questions ready if you have any for Shezzie. So over to you, Sharon, before we do that.
Again, I'm very happy and very excited for your new journey, because every experience you go through to me, it's a journey. I look forward to what's coming, because I feel like now the fire's like lit. You're coming with something. You about to blow these doors wide open, child. I'm ready for it. Me ready.
I don't know. Only God knows. Yeah.
God is blessing you every step of the way, because the thing is that it's not even a plan. It's just an opportunity that will happen. Each opportunity creates a new thing. You know what I mean?
I receive that. I receive it.
Girl, it's coming. So I think, just knowing your history and knowing you went through your own trials and tribulations, especially, you know, losing your sister, that's tough. But emerging out of all of that chaos and that, you know, this flower is now blooming. So I would just like to see the branches extended off of that for you. Like God's blessings to you, continuous blessings.
Thank you. And to you too.
For your journey, because I'm very excited. You look amazing again. I have to tell you, the light is just shining. God's grace is shining within you.
Thank you.
Let's see how she pretty up the screen. You know, see how she pretty up the screen.
What me I said, you know, see it, you know.
Yeah, well, we see it.
The light is shining in her. That's a blessing. The beauty shines out. I'm excited, child. Yes, receive it. Receive it. Me is here to tell you about it. Receive it. People will really know who you are. Again.
My head soon, boss. Thank
no,
you.
man, take it. Them will know about you soon.
Okay, let's give people who are in our chat room, if you have any questions for Shezzie, we want you to just unmute yourself and ask Shezzie any questions that you may have for her. So now is the time to do so. Daddy Maestro.
Yes, sir.
All right, come through.
Man, I cannot believe that over the years I've missed this lovely lady here. I mean, beautiful, man.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, and then say what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm calling from Florida, South Florida, in the USA. Okay, they call me Daddy Maestro.
Nice.
And Shezzie, it's a wonderful interview. I love your voice. I'm listening to some of your tracks. Beautiful. You got really an angelic voice. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
And I can't believe over the years I've never known about you. Over the years, I know, you know, Karen Wheeler, of course, you know, because of the Soul to Soul thing.
Yes.
Because I'm an old school DJ from early 70s, you know, coming up to the 90s. And it's wonderful what I'm hearing. Beautiful, man. I'm really wish you all this, you know, Godspeed on your journey from growing up. And very, you know, it seems to be, you know, I'm looking on your Instagram also, and very classy, man. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Beautiful. Yeah, you know, don't be surprised if you see me show up at your show in May, perhaps.
Oh wow, it's lovely to meet you. Lovely.
That'd be nice, man.
That'd be blessed.
Right, 10 star.
Yes, ma'am.
That'd be good, you know.
Definitely.
If groups on the road, you know. And I'm gonna get your CD also. See here you have it. The CD.
You know, anything Shezzie does turns to gold, you know, Daddy Maestro. So you have to just get everything.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
And maybe get your sons to cover some of the, you know, her songs.
You know, what would be nice, because she would maybe do some nice work with them too, with the string and
God, yes, definitely.
Yeah, that'd probably be a nice combination there too. You know, Shezzie, you know Angelique, right?
I don't believe so.
No, okay. So Angelique he used to be in England for quite a while. So I just spoke to him about you a while ago. He's a guy, you know, worked a lot with Slam Rapid from back in the day. And you know, in our age group, and I call him a singer because he actually also teaches you know, voice too. But he's a singer like you. It's the same, in the same classical, you know, same vein. Beautiful stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He's a tough singer. Yeah.
He's excellent. Yeah, man. Angelique is a real singer. You know.
It's always great to make a link, you know.
Yeah, man. I just spoke to him about it. By the way, what's your heritage, Shezzie?
I'm a Bay Jam.
Okay, so
Jamaican.
Right. Yes, my wife is Bajan too.
Yeah.
My wife is Bajan. Yeah, I'm Jamaican, and she's
my mother's people are Jamaican. My father Bajan.
Oh, your father's from okay. So father Bajan and mommy Jamaican.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bay Jam.
Yeah, nice. So you grew up in England, or you were born in Barbados?
No, I grew up in England. Grew up, but but familiar with the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah.
familiar.
Most, most of the people from England who are born
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
tell the difference. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, man. But I wish you all the best, man. I'm gonna get your CD, like I said. And by the way, your CD, I want to get the CD, a signed CD, right?
Okay.
I see it on your website, but I think you should increase the price of the signed CD from the regular CD.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the business also, you know. 10 hours today. I manage my growth.
I hear you, but for me, it was never about the money.
I know. Yeah, my wife is right here.
I live good.
You're good, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's very nice, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Respect due, Daddy Maestro. Thank you for your question, yeah?
Every time.
All right. So if anyone has a question, just put your hand up on your thing and then we'll let you come through.
There's
Pauline.
Pauline Huey. Huey? Is it Huey?
Yeah.
Pauline, unmute, please, and then please pose your question.
I know Pauline. She's my long time sister, and you're not getting away. You know,
Go ahead.
What would you say was the hardest part about transitioning from being in gospel back to roots? What was the hardest part about that for you? Like, for instance, the response of the people that knew you in gospel and going back to roots, how people received that.
The only thing to say is that I'm not governed by people, so the responses were varied, but I'm above that. If in Christ you are free indeed, and I'm free.
So what has, for instance, just for example, what's been their response to you?
In broad terms, everybody's come along now. It's almost like Shezzie's out there, and it's not so strange anymore, if I'm totally honest, but I'm not looking behind me, I'm just looking ahead, if you understand what I mean. So I'm not really taking any note of people's responses. To me, it's not important.
But have you had people sort of really embrace, gone on board with you, and they're on the journey with you?
Yeah, I believe so, especially our generation. And like I said, I'm Blackheart, and that's one thing you can't take out of me.
For me, you've always said to me, it's an individual journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I've held that for years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll never forget that. And it's so true. And I'll pass that on to other people as well. It really is an individual journey,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I understand what you mean.
I'm not about what other people think, what they say. I know who I am, and it's so nice to reach a stage in life where you're just confident of that. I know where my faith is. I know who I have faith in. And I have experienced it. So that's all that matters right now.
Yeah, and I guess if you don't look at it as an individual journey, you'll never step out. You could have sat back, listening in, and doing what everybody else wants to do.
You see, the thing is that the whole church environment is like a school. It's like going to school, but once you've learned, you have to move on. I did my schooling. I did it where God wanted me to do it, because He found me. So I'm schooled. I'm a big woman. I'm schooled. I'm not supping baby milk anymore. I'm schooled, but it's still, the school is still necessary.
Yeah, I get that. It's very true. You've got to step out for yourself and not for anybody else.
That's right. And fellowship is sweet. when it's right.
But
Amen.
I'm just grateful for
I'm
your
just doing me, P.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course. And
so,
I'm,
you know,
I'm just glad that you
yeah, and I watch nobody. Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
you know, and it's very encouraging, as you know. And by the way, people, I've always said her voice is like water running over a brook. Her voice is like silk, whether she wants to accept
Yes,
it or not.
love that. Yes.
I've always told her that, you know.
P.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely correct. We totally agree with you.
We agree. We agree. Wow.
Well, thank you, Pauline, for your question, and we appreciate you for posing your question. Is there anybody else who would like to ask any questions to Miss Pauline? Now is the time to do so. And if not, then we will bring the show to an end. So we'll wait for a few seconds. Okay, nobody? All right. Well, Pauline, I just want to say to you, thank you for coming on our show to share your story from where you started to where you're at. You know, we're always going to be here supporting you. You know, you are a breath of fresh air to the 10-star General's lungs. They're being restricted, but since you started singing, it's like, I can breathe again, you know? So we thank you for your contribution, you know? And thank you for gracing our shows. Thank you for all you've done and all you're still doing and continue to do. I even forgot to mention your son also does incredible music, and he was one of the first soul singers in the UK.
That's right.
Tell us a bit about him before we end the show, because we have to talk about him, you know.
Well, he was the first signing to Def Jam UK. His name is Aaron. He's, you know, he's hasn't been a great experience for him in the industry, but yeah, he did well out of it some years ago.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your journey with us. Lyndon, bless up yourself. Lyndon Wiseart, I think that's the name.
Yes.
Thank you to Rankin Ann.
They're asking Aaron who?
Aaron who?
Aaron Soul.
Aaron Soul, Lyndon. All right. So yeah, Aaron Soul was signed to Def Jam UK. Yeah. All right. So we're going to bring the show to a close. Thank you once again, Shezzie, for being a wonderful guest, and thank you for all you do for, you know, for our music industry. Sharon, what would you like to say?
Thank you again. Of course, I'm going to be keeping in touch with you. You'll see me dropping you little notes in the DM. Just remember Sharon Mango, because the love I have for you is phenomenal.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you. Really, really appreciate the love.
Yeah, man, you keep me grounded. You keep me grounded.
Bless.
And I know that you'll continuously be an inspiration to many others. You know, so God bless you, my child. God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you. Bless you.
Sharon, get her to do an a cappella. Good.
Well, I would like her to do just a little bit, because you come on, sister. Give us
Zoom. You can't sing on Zoom.
You can sing a little bit.
Okay. Fish got to swim and birds gotta fly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love one man till I die. Inhale, love intense star, general. Look
at you. Look at you.
Look at me. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Coming on the show on Saturday, just before we end the show, will be Claude Sinclair. He is the junior brother to Janet Sinclair. If you remember, Janet Sinclair used to have a column in Jamaica. And if you had a problem in your love affair, whatever it was, you wrote to Janet Sinclair.
Yeah.
Anyway, Claude Sinclair is a ambassador for peace. He does a lot of good things in Jamaica. He's coming to our show. His name is Big Stone, so join us on Saturday. Thank you for joining us today with the Queen, Shezzie. God bless you and thank you all. We're going to end the show. All right.
Thank you all, guys. Thank you all for tuning in.
Bye.
See you next
Take care.
time.